Today I'm going to be taking my large ZZ plant out of this pot simply because of this little thing right here. This is a ZZ plant flower and it's actually flowered a couple times. Now I don't know much information about the flowers themselves, but I just did a little bit of research online. There's some conflicting information. One source says that the plant is under extreme stress, so it's trying to push out a flower in hopes of reproducing before it dies. Now another source says that the flower develops when conditions are optimal. So good light, good soil, good moisture, all that kind of stuff. So judging how I typically underwater and neglect my plants, I'm guessing this plant is under some pretty extreme stress. This plant was placed in this pot over 2 years ago. I did make a video combining a bunch of different plants to make one full plant. So I'm guessing, or I'm suspecting, it's probably root bound, and that's why it's showing some signs of stress. Now another reason why I want to take it out of this pot is because I want to change the soil. I did kind of a little bit of an experiment and I'm really not happy with the results. I used orchid bark as well as sand for the soil. I quickly found out that whenever I watered it, the sand would come right out the bottom. So I'm guessing that pretty much what is remaining is just the orchid bark. So I'm interested in looking at the roots and looking at what soil is left in the pot. Put it in something a little bit more, I guess, moisture retentive. I know that goes against everything you've probably heard about these plants. I will be using a cactus and succulent soil, so it still has those good drainage qualities. So let's take it out and get started. I'm not even sure how old this plant is, but I would say at least 5 years, if not more, for kind of the main plant. And you can see right here, there's lots of kind of wrinkling along the stem. So that's telling me that this is pretty much starving for moisture. The soil is just not sufficient, in my opinion. There might be some different opinions out there, but I really don't like this bark mixture. Now another thing I'm going to do once I take these plants out is separate these smaller stems from the larger ones. Obviously this is at a different stage in maturity. This is a very old plant, whereas these smaller cuttings here, they're very young and juvenile, and they're just not getting the light that they need because of kind of the coverage, I guess, from the larger portions of the plant. First thing I'm going to do, and this thing is heavy, I'm just going to put it on the mat. And then I'm going to take my little butter knife here and just go down around the sides here and just push forward a little bit. I'm pretty sure I can feel roots, or maybe it's just the orchid bark, I'm not sure, but I'm just going to go around the pot and just kind of loosen it up, because sometimes those roots will stick or adhere to the sides of the pot, and then it makes it really hard to kind of pull it out. There's a nice new stem popping up, and here's one as well. So again, I want to protect those. Now I lost my knife. What's right here? So just going right down there. I don't know if it's going to be root bound or not, but you can see this stem right here, it does have some wrinkling on it as well. So it needs more water. Now, without destroying the rest of my plants here, I'm just going to tip it up on its side like that. So one sign of a plant being root bound is look at all these roots on the bottom. It's poking through. So that doesn't always mean that it is extremely root bound, but that is one sign. If you see roots kind of poking out through the top or yellowing leaves, then that can be a sign that the plant might need to be repotted into something larger. And I'm just going to use the butt end of my tongs here and just kind of see if it'll push out. Oh yeah. Just going to pull it back and then push it right out. Now it should slide out. And as you can see, my mat is really not doing anything. Oh yeah. That is extremely root bound. So big, chunky, solid mass. Okay. And you can see what I mean about the sand. Like it's piled up. So it was not the right soil choice for sure. Now, judging by how root bound it is, I'm going to say that's why it pushed out this flower. So now what I'm going to do is try and remove some of these smaller ones. So all I'm going to do, okay, well that one just snapped away. Okay, that wasn't good. But they stem from all these like potato-like rhizomes, and you can see this one's a little bit shriveled up. So definitely a watering issue. This is probably where that little cutting came from. This is a rhizome. It sprouts off from one of these. They literally look like potatoes, and it pushes out a growth point. So I can propagate this. This all will stick right back in the soil, but I'm going to pot that up in the smaller pot. Now I just have to be a little bit more careful when, oh, is this a new growth point? Oh, that's an old stem. I have to be a little bit more careful when taking out these smaller ones. So the first thing I'm going to do is try and loosen up all of these roots at the bottom. I do not want them to be entangling or encircling like this. So I'm just going to be using my pencil just to kind of break these up a little bit. So all I'm doing is finding a spot to push it in and then just kind of pulling downwards. And I'll loosen some of these up as best as I can. These are such thick noodle roots. I'm not worried about breaking these smaller ones. It's these larger ones that I want to keep intact or as best as I can. This is a pretty hardy plant, so I'm not worried about breaking any of these roots here. So, and actually you can pull pretty hard on them and they won't snap. So I've got a stone in there to block the drain hole, or to help with partially blocking the drain hole so all the soil just doesn't flow out every time you water the plant. So, okay, just gonna push this up a little bit. Hopefully none of the stems are breaking, but I'm just going to continue to loosen up all the soil as best as I can. Okay, I think I've changed my mind. I'm gonna keep this entire plant intact. I'm not going to remove these smaller stems. What I think I might do upstairs is optimize the light. So right now I have the light coming from top down. I might add a like a Barena vertical grow light in front of it so that the lower or the smaller stems can get light as well. Just because I don't wanna have the situation where all of my smaller stems just break off, and yeah, that's not ideal. So here is that potato-like rhizome. You can separate this, like I can pull that off, put it in a separate pot, and it will continue to grow. But you can see this little potato rhizome has produced a couple different shoots. I'm not sure if that's an old growth point or maybe that's the start of a flower, but whenever you have stems that have previously died back, what I like to do is just take the stem and just give it a twist. And usually that will break it off nice and clean. And now you won't have all of these big stumps just sticking out of the pot. So I just like to break it off like that. I got pretty much all of the roots untangled, and you can see I just loaded it with sand. So not ideal. I won't be doing that again. So there's a few more. Again, I can just kind of twist and snap off. Here's one. This is the Raven ZZ that I put in here. It's got one rhizome, 2 shoots, got some roots on there, so I'm gonna leave that. There's a stem back here. I'm just gonna snap off. You can see how wrinkled these are, so definitely it's gonna get a good thorough watering after I repot it. I went out today and bought a 14-inch nursery pot, and I did use some drywall tape to cover the holes, just so again the soil doesn't flow out the holes every time I give it some water. And before I get roasted in the comments, I am going to be using Miracle-Gro's cactus and succulent mix. It was $6 a bag. It's perfect for a large project like this. Yeah, it's formulated for cactus and succulents. It has some sand content, perlite. It's going to be fine for this larger pot. I wish I could have it at a better angle, but I'm just going to be plopping this right in the pot just to kind of size it up. I do have a couple inches of soil at the bottom. Clearly, I need some more, so maybe something like that is where I want it at. Okay, I'm going to try from over here, hitting the roof, hitting my other plants. That looks like a pretty good height. That way it can provide some support along the sides here as well. I don't want all of these smaller ones to just be flopping over, so maybe something like that. I can pull it up a little bit more if I need, but all I'm going to do is just dump in the soil and mix it around. I did buy 2 other bags just in case, because I knew it was going to be a pretty large repot here, so just get that in, just kind of push it around. I can bring this up just a bit more maybe. I can't see what I'm doing on the back side here. Just get all that soil around there. Okay, I think we're positioned pretty good for height, or I guess the depth in the pot there. So now I'm just going to be adding kind of these single scoops of soil just around the edges. And like I said, making sure that all of those smaller stems don't kind of flop over. So I'm just gonna kind of prop them up a little bit. I can support it with some soil along the sides. So like these ones right here, like they're just flopped right over. So just gonna support them a bit more with soil, like up top there. And I'm not gonna pack it down. I want this soil to remain kind of nice and fluffy. And then once I give it some water, then it will help settle the soil kind of around those roots as well. You can use a pencil. I don't know where it is right now. You can use a pencil just to kind of poke that down just around the edge of the pot here, making sure all of those roots are covered. Or you can just smack the pot too. That helps settle it. When you get floppy stems like this, sometimes it can be due to just the weight of it, but also it can be from just inconsistent watering. So they are pretty dehydrated right now. I'm just gonna sort this out a little bit, making sure my hands aren't blocking everything here, but yeah, they can get a bit droopy if they're not receiving enough water. So inconsistent watering. Just gonna pop that one right there. Now I did go with quite a bit of a larger pot. The original one was 10 inches, 10.5 inches. This is 14, so it is quite the upsize. I guess most appropriate size would have been a 12-inch, but unfortunately I can't find any right now. So 14 was the only option, or I separated the plant, which I don't want to do. I want a large, massive ZZ plant over time. So I just have to keep an eye on watering. I can use my little moisture sticks here. So the way I tell if it needs to be watered is obviously by the stems here, but I'm gonna be letting it get bone dry. So I'll probably water it maybe once every 3 weeks, maybe once a month kind of thing. But the way I tell for larger plants is just with this little stick here. I push it all the way to the bottom. If there's any soil sticking to the wood, then you know that is, so if there's soil sticking on the bottom third, then you know the bottom third of the pot is wet and it doesn't need to be watered yet. If you simply just put your finger in the top 2 inches of soil, you know, the top might be dry, but the bottom might be absolutely soaked. So that's when you run into the root rot issues, just because you're not letting it dry out fully before giving it water. So I like to use the wood stick method. Just put it in the pot, leave it there for a couple seconds, pull it out, and then you can gauge where your moisture is in your pot. Now I do have a garden hose in my basement, so I'm just going to give it a good thorough watering right now. I might actually get some rope just to kind of tie up these stems, just so they're not flopping over as much, but I'm just going to give it a good soaking. And I do have this kind of on one of those little plant trolley type things, because this thing is very, very heavy. So just going to water in that soil, let it drain out the bottom of the pot, and then I'll put it back in its spot upstairs in my living room. Now, as I wait for the other plant to drain, I'm going to be potting this little cutting in the just a small little terracotta pot, and I'm going to be chopping these stems just for more propagations, and then I'll be planting these potato rhizomes in this pot as well. So eventually these little cuttings will get a rhizome like this at the end of the leaf stem, and it'll start to push out new growth like that right there. So now I'm just going to grab the soil, fill up the pot, and then I'm just going to push in those rhizomes. So I'm going to keep this one maybe right in the middle, put that like that, and then I could put all the other cuttings around the edges. So I'm going to put a rhizome in right there, cover that up a little bit. Don't want it too far down, maybe something like that. And I can add a little bit more soil, just covering them. And I'll give this one some water as well. So it doesn't have to be deep, maybe something like that. Just make sure they don't come out. And then I'm just going to plop these guys in here as well. I've never done soil propagation with ZZ plants, so I'm going to take these over, give them some water, and put them in a nice bright sunny spot, and hopefully in the next maybe few years, because they do take a very long time to propagate by leaves and stems and those little rhizomes. So it does take a lot of time, but I'll put it in a sunny spot, and hopefully we get a nice full bushy plant and we can repot it maybe in a few years. Okay, here's the zoomed out view of the giant ZZ plant. You can see I did use this little rope here just to kind of support them a little bit more so they're not flopping out. Over time, as the plant soaks up all that moisture, it should allow the stems to thicken up and I guess straighten out or become more vertical. So this thing weighs probably like 50 pounds. So I did pick up this little saucer, but I'm gonna be taking this one upstairs and hopefully there is minimal shock to this plant and it just pushes out some new growth. And I think I'll be keeping the smaller one downstairs here to monitor its progress. So yeah, I think that's gonna be pretty much it for this video. If you have any comments or questions, please leave it down below in the comment section. Always appreciate the support. Thanks for watching my videos. Take care, everyone.